Yeah, we all get angry sometimes, and it's not worth hiding behind it. Pretending that you never get angry, or pretending that everything's happy, that's blissful. Hello, Base Cake. Long time. Hope you're well. So sometimes you have to let those emotions roll. You have to ride with the emotions. I'm not talking about going to the extreme of the emotion, because nobody likes anyone at the extreme of their emotions, even happy. It's just an annoying happy person. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. They're just in your face, rah, and it's just too much. It's excess. And I'm not talking about tempering stuff down to stay in the middle, to play safe. But what I mean is, you're happy, share the love. But if you need to say something that isn't so much on what we call the positive side, a little bit of anger, a little bit of discomfort, a little, discontent with stuff, say it. Do it. Let it out. And that way, I think, once again, as I always say, it leads to more contentment, simply because you're not holding grudges. It's hard for us to release everything, and we just hold them in, and that creates trauma. That creates trauma in all of us. I still get it sometimes, even though I work hard at not, because I really can't live with stress. I don't like stress. What happens is, when I'm stressed, this shoulder drops. I noticed that ever since I was maybe in my early teens or something. So I try to not avoid the stress, but I try to deal with it, and I'm known for that. I'll hit it head on, and I don't mean just going hard and regardless of anyone else and putting myself first. I'll deal with it in my private time. If it needs to be dealt with other people or around other people, I'll deal with it, and I remove whatever's going to be causing that stress. Sometimes you have to leave it, believe it or not. You have to let it lie. You have to leave it there, because that's part of the course. And it isn't all about you, especially when you're with other people. It may be something that you don't like, but you have to let the others experience it. There's no point going, oh yeah, I've seen this and done this before, I don't like it, blah, 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 and you start trying to guide everyone to live around you. You have to let those things go. Hi, Maria. Maria Smith-Bodder, so I almost didn't do the full name there. But use anger to assert your values, beliefs, and place of negotiation. Absolutely. And that's what I talking about now. In layman's terms, I want more people to, have a more captive audience and so on, simply because you have to learn to utilize all of your emotions, rather than simply putting them into separate boxes and saying, right, this is good and this is bad, and everything bad I mustn't do in life. So what I'm going to do is remove all the negative aspects and only try and live with the positive. I've seen a lot of people do that, and I know I sound quite blasé about these things, but I do feel for them and I care for them. But those are the people I see who have the most problems, and they, in my books, which is why I always have a little bit of a dig then, I suppose, I call them the happy hippies in the majority. Now, it's not exclusive to any person because of their group and types. But what I think we can understand from this, it's my own thesis, and I want you to know, I want you to believe me, is simply that, I see a lot of these shiny happy people around a shiny happy movement, and it's genuine. So those people exist and they do what they do. But I think a lot of people gravitate towards that who don't deal with their problems, and they hide behind the gloss. Everything's pretty. They colour everything pretty. They only see and talk and want pretty things around them, and they don't deal with the negative. And I think that creates a trauma. Now, that happens to everyone in life. I repeat once again. But I do see those people gravitating towards that. And what happens with that, it's absurd. I see these people, they're shiny, they're happy, everything's brilliant and brighter, and they around their homes, around the clothes they wear, the people they hang around with, but they rise to anger over trivial things. And deep inside, all the stuff that they're trying to bury, it manifests itself in so many different ways, and we're all guilty of it, which is why I present myself live, because I can learn from myself. Whatever I try to hide from you, you'll see it if you watch me enough. Do go back and watch the shows. Try anything to get the viewers in. But what I mean by that is simply that you exhibit certain behaviours for the things that you try to hide, because they try to come out. Just like everything else, you try to show people that you're in a good mood, and you show people that you're kind, you try to show people that you care, your altruistic nature is second to none and so on, but you try and hide your jealousy, your anger, your even hatred on a level about certain things, and they're all vying for the same position, and they manifest themselves. People can see them in our mannerisms. So when I say things typically, light-hearted, a bit, I won't go around saying, "Oh, I'm funny," or "I am," even though I am funny. You know what I mean? I won't go around making claims to being honest, good, and altruistic, and so on. Even though I know I do those deeds, it's for others to see them, to know, and give them credence. And I recommend that to everybody. Do what you do and be seen. Every now and then we have to shout out because, no one can hear us, no one can see us, and we're doing good deeds and we're doing well, and nobody knows it about us. And there's no harm in that neither. It's the same as not hiding your anger. Don't hide the what we tend to attribute positive terms to, the good things that you do. But like the anger, find a line. No point just going, "Oh, I'm brilliant, I'm fantastic, I care for the world, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me." All that does is alienate people, because there's a part of us as human beings that are all aiming for that middle line, where we should all live together, communicate, live in harmony, live in peace with each other. But a lot of people step above it. They try and sell the idea that they're perfect and they're harmonious and so on, and nobody likes that. Truthfully, every now and then, I'm not talking about it as a trait in someone who's really, really confident, because we all love that. You see someone, not everybody, but you see someone who's quite confident, they do what they do, and you're like, "Wow, I really like that person." And that those are the traits that are obvious, that's what they're exhibiting. But if someone just kind of just amplifies it and pushes it out, then I think a hell of a lot of people kind of get a little riled by it. So find your line, even with the anger. If you're a person who's finding it difficult to convey a sense of happiness, a sense of well-being to people, because maybe you've had a tough life, or it's just the way you are, for various reasons, your own personal reasons. If you stay in that sullen state all the time, that also, pushes people away. Now, I know it may sound odd to say, "Well, why would I want people near me?" But once again, we're all looking for some kind of approval, or looking to be part of a community, a group. We all want to be accepted, and in order to be accepted, it's not about being fake and saying, "Right, I'm going to do this so I'm accepted." What happens is, if you find yourself a really good middle line, maybe slightly to the left or right of it, otherwise we're looking for perfection, and we work hard at reaching that place, we do become better people. And becoming closer to that, which I'm going to call a centre line, whether we're left or right of it, and as you come closer to it, people appreciate it in us. People like it as a trait, and that brings us closer together, because we don't feel that people are too high above us or too low, too far beneath us. And we all have those feelings where people are above or below us as well. And the people who we see as below us, sometimes we don't want to be around them, because we feel that they could be pulling us down. As much as we help those people, we know we've got our own lives to lead, and we've got like a path that we've chosen, or that line to meet. And if the people above us think they're too high and mighty, then obviously we avoid them too, and we tend to get the people who are closer to the line. And that's the way we build our communities, that's the way we live together, that's the way we all learn to love each other, to accept, and very importantly, to trust each other.
Kush now, think Kush with